Hello everyone, this is the daily devotional video for January 7th, and the passage for today is in Luke chapter 6 verses 46 through 49. Why do you call me Lord, Lord, and do not do what I say? I will show you what he is like who comes to me and hears my words and puts them into practice. He is like a man building a house who dug down deep and laid the foundation on rock. When a flood came, the torrent struck that house but could not shake it because it was well built. But the one who hears my words and does not put them into practice is like a man who built a house on the ground without a foundation. The moment the torrent struck that house, it collapsed, and its destruction was complete. The title for today's devotional is The Key to Acceptance. Many churchgoers will be disheartened to learn that ministry work doesn't reserve them a place in heaven. Good deeds mean nothing to God unless they are the outgrowth of a relationship with Him. It doesn't matter how many acts of kindness or service a person has performed. Only those who have received Jesus Christ will enter heaven. The definition of believe often confuses church members who lack genuine faith. They believe in God, Jesus, and heaven. But there's a difference between giving intellectual assent to an idea and spiritually acknowledging Christ as Savior. What we see in the Bible is that when someone truly comes to faith in Jesus, he or she changes. It's impossible to remain the same after realizing one's desperate need for Him. A desire for salvation begins with a recognition that we've sinned against God and there is no hope of salvation apart from Jesus. When we trust in His sacrifice for the payment of our sin debt, God promises to respond. If you desire to be in heaven with Him for eternity, ask yourself, have I been saved? If not, now is the time. I'm going to read a story out of the Guideposts. I'm going to drink here really quick. This is called Our Hanukkah Tree. A Jewish daughter searches for the perfect gift for her Christian mother. Here's a picture. I lingered at the kitchen table after Mom had left for work that morning. Tonight would be the 5th night of Hanukkah, and I was at a loss. What do I get my mother? We used to exchange gifts every night of the holiday when my brother and I were kids. Stuffed animals, puzzles, and clothes for us. Usually something handmade for Mom and Dad. Now we did just one big gift exchange on the 8th and final night. It was enough to celebrate with candles and family the other 7 days. But there were only 3 days left to think of the perfect present. I remember Hanukkahs we'd had growing up. Mom would make latkes while Dad led us in prayers. My brother and I ran into the living room after dinner to pick a present from the pile. Just one, my parents would say. I would stare at the dining room table, covered with 16 presents between us. I always tried to save the biggest for the last night. I like having something to look forward to. Things were different now. My brother and I were adults, or almost adults. After a year abroad as a teacher in Israel, I was living with my parents again and planning to move to New York City in February. My brother had just graduated college with a degree in urban planning. He wanted to take a trip around the country soon. He was in town for a few days, so we were all together for the first time in ages. It would be hard to visit our parents over Hanukkah in the future. 8 days is a long time to take off work. This might be our last chance to celebrate the whole holiday together, I thought. I wanted to make this Hanukkah special for my parents, especially my mother. She was a Methodist who had never converted to Judaism, yet had planned B'nai Mitzvah. I'm not sure I'm saying that right. B'nai Mitzvah, fasted on Yom Kippur, and lighted candles with us on Hanukkah. There were a few things she couldn't give up. She used to put up a Christmas tree and red stockings over the holidays. Though we never believed in Santa Claus, my brother and I listened to Christmas carols around the tree and dug into our stockings on Christmas Day. It made us feel as if we got the best of both worlds and more presents. But my mother stopped putting up a tree as we got older. She worried it might confuse us. Mom wanted to make sure my brother and I knew we were Jewish first, and she had done it. Raised 2 Jewish children to adulthood. That's why it was so important to find her the perfect present. It must have been so hard to raise children in a totally different faith from your own. I wanted to thank her, but how? Then it hit me. I jumped up from the table and went to get supplies. For the next 3 days, while Mom was at her HR job at the National Science Foundation, I worked on her present. I wanted it to be a surprise. By the last night of Hanukkah, I had everything prepared. I'd been back and forth to craft stores, the supermarket, and the neighborhood drugstore. I thought of all the times I made my mother's Hanukkah present as a child. Colored cards, books with coupons for chores and breakfast in bed, illustrations, wood menorahs. All these years later, I was still crafting things for her by hand. Long day, dear? My father asked when Mom walked through the door that night. Yes, she said. We can have dinner soon. I just have to drop off a few things upstairs. I sat on the couch, waiting for her to cross the living room to the stairs. What would she think about my present? I wondered. She was home late, so I knew she was exhausted. Hi, Matt, she started to say, then stopped short. She dropped her bag on the floor. There, standing in the living room, was a small Christmas tree trimmed with handmade ornaments. Little wooden Santas painted red and white, clear baubles covered in glitter glue, a papier-mâché star perched on top. I'd never made my own ornaments before, let alone decorate a Christmas tree by myself. I hope she liked it. But before my thoughts could get very far, my mother started crying. It had been years since she had a Christmas tree in her own house. I put my arms around her and said, Happy Hanukkah, Mom. Oh, that's so beautiful. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you like it. Have a blessed day, and I'll see you in my next video.